Greetings, families. Welcome back once again. I hope you are well. I hope your day is good. If this is your first time here, my name is Mamri, and you are very welcome and you are part of this family. So stay here, please. This video is about agriculture in Burkina Faso. It's about the diasporas that heard the call of our Captain Ibrahim Traore, the president of Burkina Faso. What they are doing concerning farming, things that people are saying it's impossible to plant in Burkina Faso. They are planting them in Burkina Faso now. If you have any expertise outside, bring it to Africa. Yes, not only Burkina Faso, Africa. Families, this is a great interview I want to share with you. I will not waste your time. Please listen carefully, especially if you are concern about investing in agriculture in Burkina Faso is very helpful. I will be back. Thank you for your time.
Good evening, sir. Welcome to the show that shines a light on the professions of the land. This is, of course, Agriculture on Burkina Television. It's no secret the ongoing revolution in Burkina Faso is affecting every sector, including agriculture, with two major programs, the Presidential Initiative for Agricultural Production and the Agropastoral and Fisheries Offensive, which involve all segments of society. Today's topic is the contribution of the diaspora to agricultural production, and that will be the focus of our show. As always, we'll start with an overview of the situation on the ground, address the concerns of those involved, and begin with an interview with our guest. And on that note, let's welcome our guest. Ladies and gentlemen, we are delighted to welcome to this edition of our agriculture program on the contribution of the diaspora to agricultural production, Dr. Mambila Bansi, who better than him to discuss this topic with us since he is the Director General of the ABI. The Burkina Faso Investment Agency's mission is to assist the government in implementing its policy for promoting investments and supporting entrepreneurs. Good evening, Mr. Director General.
Good evening.
Thank you for accepting our invitation. Thank you for having us to address our concerns. Dr. Mambila Banse holds a doctorate in organizational and business management with a specialization in public-private partnership project analysis. He is the current Director General of the Burkina Faso Investment Agency. He has over 20 years of professional experience in the Burkinabe administration. For example, Dr. Banse has held positions such as Chairman of the Board of Directors, Project Manager, Economic Advisor, and Director General, which is his current role. It is with him that we will discuss diaspora investments in the agricultural sector. Mr. Director General, once again, thank you for welcoming us to address our concerns. As part of this program, it is a tradition for us. We always start with an observation that we will allow you to see in Bagre. We have seen some contributions from a few members of the Burkinabe diaspora in the agricultural sector. So together, we will look at these achievements before continuing our discussion. Watching Desiree at work, you would think he was in his fields back in Italy. But now we are in Bagre in the province of Nakambe. Here, Desiree brings in his expertise acquired thousands of kilometers away. And the commune of Bagre is having its first experience with viticulture. I like to tell myself that I am an agent of the Ministry of Agriculture in Europe because I am on a mission for my country. Because everything we're doing today is, we told ourselves that we are Burkinabe. With what is happening in our country today, I think we can say that every Burkinabe working abroad in their field should be called upon to return home with what they've learned to provide support. Many said that pine trees would never grow in Burkina. What was impossible yesterday is now a reality on a 4-hectare farm. For his first attempt, 20,000 vines of 12 different grape varieties were transported from Italy to Burkina Faso.
And here on this land, you have 12 grape varieties that we have. So we have Bordeaux, the renowned wine region, Cabernet, the classic grape, Côte d'Oron, Saint-Vieux-Osé, Vermitino, and I'm forgetting some, Masaretta, Dissira, and finally Chardonnay, the famous white grape. And a little glass of water, and then Blackbird. Among these varieties, we have 4 that will be used for table grapes, raisins for baking, and grape juice. and the rest are for making white wine and red wine.
Once the vineyard is established, it needs to be maintained, and that involves passing on knowledge. Here, about 20 people are learning the practical side after a theoretical training in Ouagadougou. This is useless. For example, this we remove. You see, I'm removing everything. This is useless. We remove it. This, for example, is useless. I remove it. What did we have here? Because we have the trunk right here. So I can decide to keep both, like keeping one. There you go. So here I have this. Trellising, bending, in short, step by step. Desiree explains the processes, demonstrating as he goes. I have to take my time to see if I have buds that are likely to grow. So if, so my operation has to be done, taking at least this and that into account. So for me, this no longer exists. There you go. So only here you have to give me the possibility to grow. So this plant here normally, in just a few short days, all of the energy that it was steadily putting out into its surroundings will go back right now, as soon as possible.
Into these two buds, and it will grow. And the strength it will give now, it will be 7 times greater than this. Well, 8 months, a plant like this in Europe, it takes 7 years.
The contribution of the Burkinabe diaspora in the agricultural sector is also in cereal production. That's the case with Thierry, a member of the Burkinabe diaspora in the United States. Thierry's agriculture is a story of heritage and passion.
We grew up in the open green fields, and our father was always a truly great and dedicated farmer. So from a young age, we always closely followed what he was doing. So that love was already there for the land. After my university studies, I have to say that the passion truly stayed with me. And I always had that idea and ambition to come back and take up what my father was doing. Specifically, on January 13th, 2025, we launched the first phase here in Bagre, in the Nakambe region, formerly known as Centre-Est, a production phase that I would call a pilot phase. During the 2025 dry season, we cultivated 5 hectares on which we produced wheat, corn, and also rice.
The experience has therefore been conclusive for Thierry and his group. Building on the achievements of the dry season, the limits are pushed further for the rainy season. About 20 hectares are sown for 4 crops: corn, soybeans, peanuts, and sesame. Expansive fields as far as the eye can see, behind which lies an ambition.
Our ambition is to move towards mechanization. We can no longer feed Burkina Faso with hoes and old tools. We need to move to highly mechanized production throughout the entire process. KTB Group's dream in 5 years is first to expand its farms as much as possible, whether in the Nakamba region here or in other regions, especially Samandini, Baman, wherever there are developments we can take advantage of. Secondly, it's to transition into the important step of processing, because when you process what you produce, you make the entire value chain much more profitable.
Thierry and Desiree, 2 members of the Burkinabe diaspora, share a common dream: to invest in their homeland. The 2 investors are starting with the Bagre agricultural plain, but their vision goes beyond that. Their goal is to cover the entire country. So, Mr. General Deputy, you have been following with us the observation in Bagre. We went on site to see the achievements of the diaspora members. What does this inspire in you already?
Thank you very much indeed. So this truly strengthens and reinforces our vision to actively promote and encourage investment opportunities in Burkina Faso. And to know that beyond Burkina Faso itself, Burkinabes who are living abroad are genuinely interested and engaged in these investment opportunities. So I am indeed very proud to see that in concrete and practical terms, the diaspora is bringing its valuable and significant expertise and also truly transferring technology and important skills so that Burkinabes who have stayed here are genuinely interested. And all this technology can be effectively used to do the work locally.
This is an initiative you already commend. Here, we are in the field of agricultural production, beyond just the agriculture sector. What are the areas of investment for the Burkinabe diaspora in the country?
Indeed, the agriculture sector continues to attract a lot of interest from potential investors, including the diaspora. But the other sectors that interest the diaspora are mainly energy. It is particularly notable that renewable energy, but also the digital technology sector, the real estate sector, the healthcare sector, and the mining sector are included.
These are sectors that are, I would say, sought after by members of the diaspora, but we will focus on agricultural production. At this stage, what is the status of diaspora investment in the agriculture sector that you can share with us?
The agriculture sector is of great interest to the diaspora. And among the hundreds of investment intentions we have recorded, many are in this sector for the production and processing of local products.
We understand that there are about 100 investment intentions from the Burkinabe diaspora, based on our observations. It's in Bagre. Are there other localities that are involved? Which localities are these?
The state must have taken significant measures to develop and promote agricultural zones such as Bagre-Pole, but there is also Samandini and Suru, which are areas that facilitate access to essential resources like energy, water, and also road infrastructure. So these are really areas that I encourage the diaspora to explore as well, because they are full of investment opportunities, also with the parliament.
You welcome the fact that there are members of the diaspora who return to the country, who transfer their skills, who invest in the country. But tell us, what is the state doing to make things easier for them at this stage? Yes?
It should be said that the state has set up support structures. So for these investors, we can mention the case of the ABI. The ABI warmly welcomes them, provides them with all the necessary information, offers them ongoing support, and assists them thoroughly with all the required administrative procedures. In this way, it can be said that the state has also taken significant steps by implementing a series of important reforms specifically designed to facilitate and encourage investment, making the process much smoother and more accessible for everyone involved. For example, I would mention in terms of business formalization, that is company creation. In record time, the company is officially created and established, and there are also significant tax and customs exemptions in place, which are specifically designed to allow them to be profitable from the very first years of their operation. The state, furthermore, also actively facilitates the creation of partnerships and collaborations with local banks and financial institutions in order to make access to financing and funding much easier and more straightforward for these companies as well.
It's a set of conditions created by the state, as we mentioned earlier. But for investors, what do they actually gain, specifically beyond just the incentives?
Yes, when you are a certain distance from your homeland and you have that strong desire to come and invest, it means that from an economic perspective, there are already attractive and competitive returns on your investment. But also, on a social level, there is the deep sense of pride of contributing to food security and job creation for those who have stayed in the country. And there is also this feeling of valuing patriotism as well as a sense of national identity. I truly believe that's truly the kind of genuine satisfaction a foreign investor can have when coming back to invest in their country of origin.
All right. Now, we also know that Burkina Faso is currently in a unique situation. We are under the progressive popular revolution in such a context. What does the state expect from the diaspora in terms of investment, I would say?
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, on this point, we must first commend our authorities as well as our defense and security forces, FDS, and our volunteers for the defense of the homeland, VDP, for the work they have done on the ground to secure all investment sectors. The state learns a lot from the diaspora, particularly in terms of capital contributions, as well as expertise, training, technology transfer, and skills. but also in terms of partnerships with local businesses and small and medium-sized enterprises remaining in the country.
Thank you very much, Mr. Director General. Thank you for these responses. As part of the show's format, after this interview phase, we also listen to requests and concerns from the stakeholders. Ladies and gentlemen, we are moving on to the internal phase.
As for the diaspora, when we return to the country, that's what is asked of us. We are asked to have structures that will truly take into account what is happening, that have projects to present for the country, that we open up opportunities, pathways, so they can meet with the authorities, maybe the relevant ministers, for example, who provide support in their respective fields, allowing everyone to meet with their relevant minister, enabling them to present their project so it can be evaluated for its merit and receive support if it is deemed worthwhile. That would really be something good. I know that the state, the government has already put something in place, but it's about structuring it so that the people involved in these support systems actually work, to build real trust for those who want to return to the country so they can come back without fear, so they can contribute to the progress, to the development of the country at the very least. Secondly, for us, for example, we really need a lot of support for vocational training because we are going to introduce new species, and the crops we are working on are not something that currently exist in the country, so we really need people to train people who will eventually take over. Also, to move towards processing everything we are planting now, the fruits that will come tomorrow. So I think at this level, we really need strong support from the government. And also to ask the government, not just for us to return, but for the government to take an interest in the businesses we have as well. In Europe or even elsewhere abroad, in other countries far from home. Because as a Burkinabe entrepreneur, if I am here in Meron and I am struggling with my business, facing challenges and difficulties, when I have my government behind me, supporting me, encouraging me, keeping an eye on things, and making sure that I am not alone in this journey, it gives me confidence and reassurance. If people, wherever I am in the country, know that the government is also behind me, interested in what I am doing, I think that helps us in certain situations. The third thing I can ask for is regarding customs, because we have a lot of things that we bring in. In order to contribute to progress, to be able to participate in a project, you need to bring in certain equipment. I think that if there is a framework, if you allow us to create frameworks with customs, if you allow us to work so that whatever we want to bring in, we can find a way, a possibility to bring it in without too much difficulty.
We come back to you now, Mr. Director General. You have just listened to François-Désiré Bazier, a member of the Burkinabe diaspora specifically in Italy, who has made some requests that concern practically all members of the diaspora. They are grouped into 4 points. First, he advocates for the establishment of listening structures for the benefit of the diaspora so that project initiators can present their projects. Also, making it easier for them to meet with the relevant ministers. To this question, how do you respond?
Thank you very much. I can reassure Mr. Bezier that locally there are support structures for the private sector that the state has put in place. I will mention the case of the ABI, which is the structure whose role is precisely to welcome and listen to investors in order to better understand their investment intentions so as to direct them to the relevant technical and sectoral structures. ABI fulfills its duty by being able to organize meetings with project leaders, with the relevant authorities and sectors to provide reassurance and all necessary information to the investor so that they can calmly make decisions about their investment project.
But how do they get in touch with ABI? Yes,
ABI has a well-developed website. ABI is also located in Ouagadougou on Zagré Avenue, so I think access is very easy. You just have to go to www.investburkina.com and you'll find all the information and all the contacts for ABI.
Thank you very much, Mr. Director General. There is also the issue of vocational training, because in his case, he is starting viticulture, a field in which we don't always have the necessary skills in Burkina. So he is asking that the state support them through vocational training that would allow them to acquire the skills needed to, in any case, manage their investments. Is there also a solution for this? Concerns?
Yes, indeed, the contribution of the diaspora in terms of expertise is very, very important. I believe that vocational schools dedicated to this are being created in line with the vision of the head of state, His Excellency Captain Ibrahim Traore, President of FASO. So I think that this request fits within that vision there. And with the relevant institutions, especially the ministry in charge of vocational training, this will truly be the dedicated framework to pass on this knowledge to the category of Burkinabes interested in this project.
Will the Abbey also advocate for this project?
The Abbey will always fulfill its duty to connect the investor with these training opportunities, because it's important for them to even go to the training school on the FAU so they can discuss and see the practical ways to pass on this knowledge to those who are interested.
So currently the state is encouraging the diaspora to invest in the country. Many members of the diaspora are ready for these investments, but they also ask to be supported because some of them have businesses outside of Burkina who want the state to support them in their host country. Is that possible?
Yes, it's possible. First of all, here in Burkina, the ABI also provides post-investment support. Post-investment follow-up. For companies established in Burkina, we go out into the field to listen to them and relay their concerns, to advocate on their behalf, so that the difficulties they encounter, the concerns raised, can reach the relevant authorities in order to find solutions. Abroad as well, we have our diplomatic representations. ABI has a network, and in each region there is an ABI focal point to gather all the concerns of people from Burkina Faso and the diaspora, so that together we can see how the state, and so we can resolve the difficulties they might encounter on the ground.
So on the one hand, through the diplomatic representation, Burkinabe entrepreneurs, including those from the diaspora, can be supported.
Exactly. It's really the right channel because it's the state's representation on site. And in any case, with the connection we have with the focal point, all the difficulties identified are truly reported to the right place.
All right. It's certain that consular representations also follow this logic since their focus is mainly economic. They also request customs facilities.
Yes, indeed, the state has put these facilitation measures in place. All they need to do is apply for approval during the investment process. ABI supports them through the procedures, and as soon as they get the approval, that approval grants them rights to tax and customs exemptions, especially for the equipment they want to bring in and for spare parts. With the approval, for example, they won't have to pay customs duties. And once they are set up for 3 years, they are also exempt from certain taxes progressively, to really allow them to establish themselves and benefit from their investment projects.
So the facilities are already in place.
That's right.
Thank you very much, Mr. Director General. We are wrapping up our interview with this good news. It's good news that these customs facilities requested by the diaspora are already available. Thank you. Thank you for having us, for providing answers to our questions regarding the contribution of the Burkinabe diaspora to agricultural production. To you, viewers, we say thank you. Thank you for watching us. See you soon for another episode of Agriculture, your show that highlights the professions of the land on Burkina television. See you very soon.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for staying up to this stage. Thank you for listening. I hope you have taken one or two things from this interview. Are you interested in investing in Burkina Faso? Concerning agriculture, that is the priority, apart from security, of course. That's another priority of our president. Food is medicine and food first. So yes, I wish my brother all the best, and each and everyone who has here listened to the call of our Captain Ibrahim Traore, the president of Burkina Faso, and has packed their things and go home to help. Things that they said is impossible, they are now planting them in Burkina Faso. Wow, even cocoa, pineapples, they used to import them. They are planting all of them. If you are interested, I'll put the number there. Please contact them. The email is there. It's clear. Contact them. And hopefully, they will help you. You heard our brothers' concern, 3 or 4 points. Our president will hear them all. He will answer him. You know how he do it. He doesn't let them down. He's there because of them, and they are there because of him, and that's why they love him. So definitely he will answer their prayers, or he will answer whatever they want him to do to help and make it possible for them to be comfortable. Above all, he wants them to employ the youth as well. And for the youth, agriculture extension officers, rest assure those of you for a long time knows it. We have thousands who has passed out already, who has been trained, and of course they will train them as well, because these are some new products, so they will train them as well. Yes, I'm so happy. I wish my brother all the best. I wish him success. I always use videos like this as an example because I have two great brothers who left US to come to Ghana and be farming, and because of what is going on concerning our food. But there's no help. There's no government help. There's no extension officer. There's no direction. Everything is today, tomorrow, and nothing is happening. So yes, my brother, you are in the right hand. I will say they will help you. They will do everything that you ask them to do. And please be a good citizen as well, and invest in our youth. So in future, they will help you and you will help me. You will help them. That's my advice for you. Above all, I wish you success. My VIPs, my kings and queens, my returning families, thank you so much. The agriculture team that did the interview, I don't want to butcher my brother's name. I'll put your name there. Thank you. God bless you for doing these interviews, because this is the third of your interview that I'm sharing. So thank you so much for doing that. God bless you all. I wish you all the best. Credit to RTB News. Credit to RTB News. And my returning families, I love you all. I will see you soon. Of course, again, this is a voiceover. Yeah, I will see you soon. I will see you soon. Thank you. Have a wonderful week ahead.